Okay, don't know why you think 1080p isn't an optimal resolution, YouTube, but if you want to be weird like that, I guess I'll have to let you. Well, welcome back to Let's Stream Cold War Iron Curtain, a mod for Hearts of Iron 4. I didn't stream yesterday because I just wasn't in the mood to stream. But let's go ahead and get started. So in this part we should have a coup in Egypt, and we should start to see the decolonization of Africa over roughly the next in-game year or so. But first things first, we sort of have to wait for the coup and or the decolonization to begin. Oh, YouTube, why are you having problems? Why do you say 1080p isn't an optimal resolution? You know that's a load of bullshit. You haven't complained at all in the past when I've done 1080p. But today's the day you decide you have a problem with 1080p. Yes, I should probably... Yeah, you know what, fine, I'll get you. That way the game stopped complaining to me about... There we go, now it's not complaining. Now, did I get better transport planes? Because I'm kind of going to need good transport planes. Yes, but I can get better ones, so we'll hold off on trying to produce any at all right now. How long until this starts? August of 1955. What's the US doing? I don't know. Okay, they have better better encryption, actually, rather, than we do. We're still missing our tanks. We got another year until we've satisfied our demand for it. Although that's only our demand right now, we're gonna need even more in the future. Italy is still working towards becoming fascist, if I recall correctly. What's the Netherlands doing? You were trying to stay neutral, right? Yeah, you did armed neutrality. You might do something. You're answering the royal question. Although you decided to refuse Leopold III. So we shall see what the Netherlands decides to do. Mexico is no longer leasing stuff from us, apparently. Whatever, Mexico. Let's see. Okay. So this has been unified. Agreed on demands of the treaty. Italy will get Zone A, which includes the city, and Yugoslavia will get Zone B, which is the countryside. Okay. I guess that's an okay deal. Wow, what is going on with our payments to the Soviets? Okay, but that'll go away. And once that goes away, we'll have excess stability. Especially combined with the 10% we're getting from increasing minimum wage. Japan still has MacArthur in charge. Wow, you guys are really taking your sweet ass time. Okay, and the reconstruction. Okay, do you not have anything regarding the Algerian War? Is it supposed to be an event that spawns it, or what? Because it starts in like September or something, historically at least, of 1954. We're past that. And it hasn't happened. So I can only assume it's set up as an event with a mean time to happen, and it's just failing to trigger right now. That is my best guess. Well then, let's see. What do I want to go with? That gets me a recruitable population, which is always nice. But you know what? Let's get the factories going. And, actually... Desalinization does have some negatives tied to it, though. And I need to go down this tree for the Cuban Missile Crisis. But I really want the factories. Okay, our texturing is still going. Good. My dog is snoring in the background. I wish the game would stop telling about this AI stuff. 64 days for nuclear reactor 3. 40 for the better AT guns. It's Mexico doing state visit to Guatemala. Okay. Sadly, I don't think he went, Oh, wait, no? You haven't done it yet, have you? Okay, no, yeah, you did look to the Soviets for help. Presumably you imported up my stuff. Okay, so you did go for me. But I'm gonna need you to go down this tree. At least I think it's this tree that I want. But first you need to... Apparently you haven't completed this. Oh, there's the Algerian War. Yeah, okay, I don't know what's going on with Mexico. This is gonna end, like, in a week with a French victory. It's just the way this is. Hawaii does not really support the idea of an insurgency. As a result, the Algerian War is incapable of ending in favor of Algeria. Even if I'd tried to go and assist them, it would fail miserably. So, I'll just sit here and just let it end. Algeria will still gain its independence magically in the future. But that should start marking decolonization occurring. And so we should start having more people gaining their independence. A couple of rebellions will pop up down here automatically, some of which we will want to support. One of which is here in the Belgian Congo right now, which has basically no supply whatsoever. So we're gonna wanna... That's kind of the reason why I need to get Egypt and then good transport planes, so I can drop supplies down there to support our Soviet-aligned, or the Soviet-aligned rebellion that'll eventually pop up down there. Okay, they're no longer licensing stuff from us. Don't really care, if I'm gonna be honest. We don't have any nuclear reactors yet, right? Yeah, we got none right now. But that's fine, because we can't actually produce nukes until we switch to an armed nuclear stockpile, which we can't do until world tension is over 90%. So we'll just sort of sit here with no nukes, but hey, it also means the US isn't getting any nukes yet. So we won't have to worry about that. Okay. They keep changing their license production, which is a little annoying. I don't need you to keep telling me about that, especially since it doesn't even give me any real info as to what's going on there. How are you guys doing? You still decided to go freedom and democracy. Although you did say that East Germany is the real Germany, so thanks, Sweden. You also condemned Israel. You also went Soviet culture under your foreign culture area. So, like, for all intents and purposes, you're basically pro-Soviet Union, but you still went democracy and freedom down this tree. You also didn't join NATO. So I can go to war. No, damn it, didn't mean to hit those buttons. So I could go to war with Sweden, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop me. That might be a fun idea. If I try to justify a war goal on you, how long would it take? 180 days. Do I want to go to war with Sweden? How are you doing? Norway is a NATO member, though. Norway decided it was in their best interest to join NATO. Apparently, okay, they have a generic tree now. Which doesn't have the option to join NATO, obviously. I guess when they got their leadership changed, it changed to a generic tree. Because they didn't have an actual 1950s tree. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna go to war with Sweden. Well, what do you have in resources, out of curiosity? You produce aluminum and lots of tungsten, steel, and chromium. You are generally in favor of me, evidently, because you basically did everything you could to almost side with me without actually doing it. I mean, you also chose to stay out of NATO. That's a big mistake, Sweden, just so you know. It doesn't really matter where I fabricate the claim, we'll just do it on Gotland, because sure, why not? And as long as the US doesn't decide to go and guarantee their independence, or, well, anyone who's a member of NATO at least, we'll be going to war with Sweden in the future. Now let's go ahead and get better transport planes. It takes forever to get better towed artillery because it's a ways out there. We don't get better towed artillery until 1964, so 1963 is probably when we would start researching it. I don't care. Wait, who is that? Oh, I don't know who that was. I should probably pay more attention to that stuff. US, I'd rather keep people on the border with Germany. Let's go ahead and bring some people up here to Sweden. That stuff's already supposed to be getting upgraded, but let's push it to the top. If I can find Finland in this mess. So Norway's going to get to stay alive because they decided to join NATO. So if I were to declare war on them, it would result in a war with all of NATO. Unless the Nordic Council has a similar feature, which I don't believe it does, we can go to war with Sweden without any worries of resistance outside of whatever Sweden can muster up, which shouldn't be too much, realistically speaking. How long until we're done with the tanks? 290 days. Oh, new ships. What does that do for you, out of curiosity? Although I am going to want to annex you, I think, as soon as possible, because you are still getting fascist support. Yeah, you know what? Let's go and push all your stuff to the top. We're going to try and annex you quickly. You know, I probably don't need all of it, but we'll still put all of it there. Better nuclear reactors. Let's see, is there anything else I want to research that has more importance to me? Yes, there is. Let's go and get basic fine elements. We are as low as we can go without going to total mobilization, which we should only have to go to if we end up in a war with NATO, which shouldn't happen because we're going to try and avoid that until we're in a position to do so. Oh, I don't need that one up there, actually. Peshneg can stay out. Or Peshnega? Peshenga, whatever. That can stay out for now. Let's go and officially announce the space race. Our spies of different news report that the Americans are doing important advancements concerning their space program. We should tell the public that we are dueling to be the first to reach the moon. Okay. And People's Republic of China creates simplified Chinese. Good for them. And space race started. Today, the leader of the Soviet Union, Nikita Khrushchev, announced that they started a so-called space race with the Soviet Union. Okay, whatever. Both countries now officially race to be the first country to reach space and the moon. The start of the so-called space race with the Soviet Union. Game, you realize we are playing as the Soviet Union, right? We can't exactly announce a space race against ourselves, because then it's not really a race, is it? But whatever. It's going to take forever to get all our main battle tanks. We're still a little less than a year out. You don't have a lot of troops up here. You got a couple of tanks and some infantry, and that's about it. Vietnam wants a non-aggression pact. They can have a non-aggression pact. When are you going to ask to join the Warsaw Pact? Because I know you have an event for that. Here we go. You can choose to approach China, or you can choose to approach the Soviet Union. Well, we all know you're going to choose to approach me because you're Marxist-Leninists. You're not Maoist. Or at least that's what I would hope. What's Cuba doing? You know, okay, here we go. Resistance to Batista. Here we go. This should start to result in Batista eventually gaining power. And we just sort of have to hope that that results in Castro coming to power. Either Castro, it really doesn't matter. Is it already on here or not? Because there's two options for... Okay, no, it's not on here right now. I don't think it'll show up until Batista's in power. But there are two choices for Castro's to come to power. There's Fidel and the other one. I don't recall. Both of which result in a Marxist-Leninist taking control, which is what I need to do the Cuban Missile Crisis. Because I can only do Revolution in America's Backyard if Cuba is Marxist-Leninist. Which is a little annoying, if I'm going to be honest, but it's just the way it works. Wait. So that, okay, that gets you a little bit extra entrenchment, which is, okay, a little weird, but whatever. Worker in the Balkans, wonderful. Let's go and do workers in the Baltic. And then maybe we'll propose to the Chinese that we form a defensive alliance with one another. Buddhism as a state religion for the autonomous Tibet, which is no longer under their control. It's now under India's control, but they can apparently still complete national focuses relating to a Tibet that is not under their control. Because that makes perfect sense. What does that even do? Gives you some political power, that's it. Ah, but then it results in that. I don't care to do any of these right now. 700 manpower, or was it 7 million, excuse me. The US actually has more manpower than me. And they're on volunteer only. I'm on limited conscription. Wow, okay, you guys have something that's really boosting your population growth, it seems. Because that's a lot of manpower for you to have compared to me. Okay, game I already announced a space race. You can get rid of the notification regarding it. When is that going to end? June of 55. This is August. Yep, whatever. Better tanks. Let's get the better tanks. It's going to take a while. Let's go ahead and research. We're going to want better production stuff. Let's get the better production. Let's border any of these people, preferably. And aren't a puppet of mine. No, okay. We'll trade with the US for tungsten. Ooh. Okay. Is that how they decided to answer the question? Well, now you guys have generic trees. I hope you guys realize that. That probably wasn't the best idea to split Belgium in two between Flanders and Wallonia. Well, one is socialist, so they'll side with us. The nationalist one will probably then end up siding with the West. At least that's the theory as to how that'll all work out. I have absolutely no idea if that is actually how it will work out, though. Because this is Hearts of Iron, and it can do whatever the hell it wants sometimes. Even when you have it set to historical national focuses. I assume it's going to take you guys... Yeah, it's going to take you guys a lot longer now to meet the quota for tanks. Move you guys to the bottom. Actually, no. Love the ones over here on the Pakistan border. You guys are still... No. Okay, no. India is independent now. Pakistan is still a puppet, though, of the UK. When did they gain their independence? Let's see. In the middle of something, game. Ah, yes. Let's go ahead and work on annexing Finland. Where is your independence movement? I don't know. I do not see your option to gain independence. It must be under the British tree then, or an event that triggers, one of the two. Let's... Come on, game. Let me out of that. Is it your decision that determines when Pakistan gains its independence? Oh wow, you can sell stuff to me. Well, that sounds like fun. Okay, well, I have no idea where it is. But presumably, yes, you are going to be in charge of Pakistan getting its independence. But I don't see it. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. It's just that I know the two of them are going to inevitably go to war. And India will probably eventually go... Oh, seriously? Really? Really, Mao? That's how you're going to treat me? We've been best of friends. Well, not really, but... we haven't tried to kill each other. So... relatively speaking, best of friends. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and begin de-Stalinization. And how far until we can actually annex Finland? Yeah, that's gonna be a ways out. But that technology will help us a little. Now, do I want to go for the research efficiency or production? Rather go for production right now. We're fine with producing most of what we have. Now, I'm not a big fan of that whole we want to beat the crap out of you thing that China seems to be pulling now, so we're going to go ahead and plan to defend ourselves against China, because evidently China is contemplating going to war with us. They do apparently have a shit ton of divisions, so I can't really fault them for that. They think they have the military to do it. is a little gap here. I'm just sort of going to be hopeful they don't go through it. And that my puppets manage to help take care of anybody that does decide to go through there. Let's see. Where should I station you? Okay, where's the gap? I need to see. Okay, it's right there. So the nearest airfield that I can put you guys without you being taken over, without me noticing it, is probably up there. Oh no. Put that up to 100. I'm going to scale back some of our resources on support equipment. I have a lot of heavy mechanized. We'll scale back on that as well. And on that, I don't really need tons of those. Yeah, that should be fine. Stop trading with Indonesia. We're going to trade with the US a little bit more. We still have supply issues up here, huh? Oh no, now you have a bottleneck. So let's go ahead and work to deal with the bottleneck now. Now, China, I just want to let you know, if you decide to go to war with me, it's probably not going to end particularly well for you. You have a lot of manpower, so good for you, but I still don't think it'll end well for you. Because that's a large border, and it's not very well defended, and I can pretty easily get to Beijing. Also, make sure you guys actually take Beijing, if you don't mind. Well, you do have a number of cities I'd have to take over to actually win, but taking Beijing fairly quickly would be wonderful. So we shall see what China decides to do, because this is going to give them an annex war goal on me. And I'll be protecting myself if they actually decide to go to war. Although I kind of wish I noticed it a little bit sooner so more of these guys could actually be in position. Okay, there's some stuff going down in Colombia. I don't care that much for that right now, game. Got much more important things to deal with. One of them is Marxist-Leninist. If China is about to declare war on me, I can't exactly support Calvo here, so he's gonna be on his own. Okay, China, what are you gonna do? You gonna go to war with me, or are you just gonna sit on the casus belli? Because I won't complain if you just sit on the casus belli. But I do still want to give you a word of warning. I will beat the crap out of you if you do decide to go to war with me. So it's in your best interest to probably avoid that. Especially if India researches their thing that results in being able to go to war with you. Oh. So we might see a fascist India. So that'll be a thing. Well, I think they have a thing to go to war with China, or is it that China has the thing to go to war with India? Okay, yeah, I guess India can't go to war with China normally. Ah, but yes, you decided to go down the autonomous Tibet. So you can't actually get the Annex War goal on India. Well, we're still going to keep our troops on that border. Okay. There we go. Begin de-Stalinization. I don't think we have Gulag Politic as one of our national spirits, but we still have to complete this. I would hope that the devs would add a bypass for this national focus. If you don't have Gulag Politic, there's no reason for me to have to complete this to progress. It's just the way I see it, at least. Let's go ahead and do women in the workforce real quick. Well, not really real quick, it's the same as anything else, but it gets us some more recruitable population. Oh, what are you all doing? Okay, all of my vassals or puppets are deciding to send their troops to the Chinese border because they said, oh, we think they're going to go to war with China soon. No, I'm not going to war with China just because I have my troops on that border. It's not my fault China wants to potentially go to war with me. Okay, yeah, we won't be getting any new transport planes for a while, so go with that. How far away are you guys? You're almost there. You supposedly have no military factories, which I think is a complete lie, because there's no way in hell you guys have no military factories whatsoever. And yeah, now the game says you have some. I don't know why it is reporting an estimated 0 military factories for you. Also, you want to join the United Nations as a puppet. Where the hell is that on your tree anyway? Oh, way out over here. That's almost done. See, you have no friends, China. I have friends. Some. Which is still more than you. Your only friend got taken from you by India because, for whatever reason, the game doesn't check to see that Tibet is already under China before it lets India complete national focus that makes Tibet theirs. What are you doing down here? Oh. Okay, I think the UAE was trading with us at one point, because I swear I saw their flag pop up one time. Portuguese have declared war on Mozambique. Oh, how are you doing down here? Yeah, you're losing. I can't say I'm surprised by that. And if I knew that China wasn't going to declare war on me instantly upon trying to help you, I would help you. But at this point, it's also too late, so... you have fun, Calvo. You'll probably be in a Colombian prison. Assuming you're not executed right away. Let's go to war with Sweden. I have to invite Finland to join so I can actually have my troops cross the border. And everybody and their mother is going to want to join the party. We're going to tell them no. This is between me and Finland and Sweden. Now, I would prefer that not all of you guys go in one direction. Might want to try this thing called splitting up. You cover a little bit more ground that way. And we'll just sort of watch that. It should be pretty easy. Nobody else is going to get involved. Did you guys really just... No. Take that territory. Seriously, you won. And then you decided, oh, never mind. Who the fuck called Romania to join? I didn't ask them to join. Finland, did you ask... Holy sh... Okay, they launched naval invasion of Finland, apparently. Yeah. If you don't mind, speed up. Get... Ooh, wow, Stockholm was well defended. Apparently, I think Sweden's expecting a naval invasion. Gonna let you in on a little secret, Sweden. I don't have a navy. I can't really naval invade you. If I tried. Now, if only I had somewhere that I could actually station these troops to help me. Split up, people. Don't need 10 divisions going to the same territory. There we go, that'll help us with production. Let's do more stuff that'll help us with production because we need more of it. Okay, my allies have figured out how to fight a war. Let's go ahead and annex you, but I'm gonna delete all your divisions because I don't want them at all. And we'll leave it to Romania to take care of that stuff. That also gained us a couple of military factories, not a whole lot. Let's wrap up the 1945 plan 10 years later. I would have put the 21 here and the 14 up there, game, but you do you, I guess. There we go. We can go ahead and start producing ballistic submarines, which I think I will do because they're a completely separate factory. And ballistic submarines, and if you don't mind, game, I kind of prefer for them to be deployed at Sevastopol. Ooh, the US is supporting you. And oh, Yugoslavia. Do you really think it's a good idea to be supporting my enemies? Because despite the fact that I've gone down the defensive approach rather than the aggressive approach, I can still just as easily invade you, Yugoslavia, and break you up if I feel so inclined. There is literally nothing stopping me from doing that. Because you're not a NATO member either. So, nobody's going to stop you. Or stop me from invading you if I felt so inclined. How are you guys doing down here? You could be doing better. That is definitely true. Romania sucks, and they appear to be pulling their troops back home. Don't quite understand why, but whatever. Let's see, yeah, let's go ahead and research better heavy mechanized. About a year and a month until we have all of our main battle tanks again. Split up, guys. Don't need everybody going the same spot. Don't know how many times I'm gonna have to tell you that, though. I mean, I really just got to get down to Stockholm. That'll end the war right away, so... Okay, really? There you go. Do it as the second phase of the plan, game. Seems like a simple enough concept, if you ask me. Dangerous naval invasion. Okay. If you say so, I guess. I don't know why I can still call the Mongolian People's Republic in. They don't exist. But the game still seems to think they exist. We are having some supply problems up here, though. It's not helping this. Split up, some ego there. Kinda wish they didn't just have a whole bunch of troops sitting on Stockholm, because that kinda makes this harder. Why are all of you guys going there? Go there, if you don't mind. That's a nice little group of troops that I would love to encircle. Oh no, I need you to delay those guys if you don't mind. We still don't have anywhere we can deploy these guys. Damn, okay, we're not going to be able to encircle those guys, which is a little annoying. damn it. Oh, what happens now? People's Republic of Vietnam. Oh, okay. Vietnam War starting. 1955. Is that... Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. Not the Vietnam War. No, it's, Well... Okay, yeah, it's that weird little thing. That always happens. Yeah, that'll end with a South Vietnamese victory. Or at least it should. If it doesn't, then something's fucked up. You want to send me one main battle tank. Screw that. That is not enough. Okay, I have to ask game, how are you sending these guys their supplies? Because I kind of get the feeling the way you're doing it is resulting in the supply issues. Six days for that, that's wonderful. Let's repair the infrastructure. Is this an... Okay, no, this entire thing is not one giant region. But I don't know what... Because that's not where the port is, so... Not owning that one territory shouldn't be negatively affecting our supplies in any significant manner, at least. Yeah, there we go. See, I knew that was going to end with a South Vietnamese victory. There's no reason for it not to. Now, let's see, what do I want to research? I guess I'll go and get better doctrines. Ah, yes, we've had the revolt in Egypt that I can't support because I'm in the middle of a war. That's taking longer than I originally anticipated. No, I'm not going to invite you to my faction. That seems like a bad idea. That'll just result in this taking even longer. Ah. We have our mechanized that in theory should be heading up here. Where are you guys? You're right there. I don't know why you're not heading up here. You guys can find a way. I assume it's just because of the supplies. That's why you're not heading up. Maybe. No, go there. Yeah. That wasn't going to end well without my support. And that support was going to need quite a bit of prior planning. Okay, game. They're not supposed to be able to retreat and attack me at the same time. You realize that, right? Okay. You all? That's your spot. Portugal has taken over Mozambique. There's Algeria. They gained their independence magically despite losing the war. France still decides, you know what? Let's go ahead and let Algeria be independent. Yeah, we'll let them take over that stuff. It really doesn't matter. We just need to get to Stockholm. Well, and I guess maybe down here in, what is it? Göteborg or something like that? I've got no fucking clue. No. Go there. You're supposed to be part of this line. That means you follow where that line is supposed to go. Now we have some ridiculously shiny AK-47s. Like, holy crap, they're blinding. Oh, no, 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 no. You go there. Reconnect these lines. Now, Stockholm has a port, so we're not going to be able to encircle them. Now, have you taken over any airfields? Nope, the only airfield down there that I can use is in Stockholm. Now, what I would love is for those guys to stop their assault. If those guys try to leave, then we'll attack. No, I want you guys to attack there, and then half of you guys actually go over to the other side. Also gives you guys the abilities to actually resupply while you wait. Let's do some more land doctrine stuff. There is an airport right here. So let's get that. And then I can send these guys over here. Though they're going to be way over. But they can still try to do something. Potentially. No, you guys aren't going to join. There we go. Now you guys might be able to take Stockholm. Nope. Yeah, that's gonna be a pain. One of you guys go there. Here's our tanks. But you guys go over there if you don't mind. It'd be a little bit more useful up there. Nope, you keep them distracted. And then you support that assault. Do not let those tanks get up there to support them. I would prefer for you to get down there. Specifically, I would prefer you to go over there. Now, hopefully with those tanks you guys can succeed. Well, assuming the tanks are in the battle. Nope, they're not in the battle. Okay. Game, send the tanks in first, then you send in all the infantry. How does that sound? Well, surprise, surprise, it seems to be working better. Go take that airport, or that airfield rather. There we go. damn it. Go there. You guys should hopefully now actually be... You guys didn't succeed, huh? And go take just south of Stockholm. There we go. Now you guys should be able to take Stockholm. And Stockholm, just so you know, I'm not going to be evil. You'll become a puppet. As your whole self. Because there's no reason for me to split you up. Assuming you don't give me a reason to split you up. And welcome, Swedish Democratic Republic. Now, as for you, Yugoslavia, I saw you throwing some support behind Sweden. I don't know why you thought that was such a brilliant idea. But I'm sorry to disappoint you. It really wasn't a brilliant idea. Ah, yes. And if I had any of these things, I would gladly put them on you. But, well, I don't. I'll say that in the event I ever produce, what were those? SLBMs. That then he will have my support. You're still getting volunteers, which you shouldn't be, because one, the war is over, so you can't get volunteers if you're not in a war game. That's the way this is supposed to work. You realize that, right? So China, how you doing? Second 5-year plan. I think it's taking a little longer than it probably should to do that, and holy crap, it takes 100 days to complete one of your 5-year plans? Well, I guess that's actually relatively quick for a 5-year plan, all things considered. It could take you 5 years to complete a 5-year plan. Lucky for you, I think you're only outlining the 5-year plan. Cruise missiles, or... Well, I'll be honest, I kind of want to make my way down to ICBMs. So let's go ahead and make our way down there. And we'll have to stage another coup in Egypt. But there's kind of the problem that because of the failed coup we had, they've lost a lot of their support. Speaking of coups, Mexico, how are you doing? Or, excuse me, not Mexico, Cuba. Don't know why I thought Mexico. Batista still hasn't come to power, apparently. Okay, I guess he doesn't come to power until after the 4th of July movement. Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of one of the problem that, one, you have resistance to Batista. Batista didn't come to power in this case. And there's announced the Batista regime, which again would technically require Batista to be in charge, but Batista's not in charge, so you can't denounce a regime that doesn't exist. So Cuba's a little confused. Apparently Carlos here thinks he's Batista. I guess we'll let him think he's Batista, because there's not exactly a good way for us to make him realize he's not. But they will lose a lot of stability, and eventually that'll allow us to stage a coup. It needs to be under 80. How are you doing? You are fascist, but did you go monarchist? No, okay, no. You did not do a royalist coup. You stayed technically with a democracy, but it's just happened to go fascist. Oh, we're trading for more tungsten than we need. Let's stop trading for all that tungsten, get ourselves some more civilian factories. Let's improve the urban infrastructure, because I kind of want to get down here for the extra research slots, and then we'll continue the whole de-Stalinization stuff. Dismantle the NKVD in favor of the KGB. They'll do the exact same job. We're just not gonna point out that they're doing the exact same job. Oh, Pakistan has gained their independence, and they are going to be releasing Bangladesh rather than militarizing it. Well, you do you, Pakistan. There's no need for you to release Bangladesh. You could have militarized it. Who's going to stop you, India? If they tried to, I might just, I don't know, send you some volunteers. But you've decided you don't want to risk a war with India right now. You're still going to go to war with India. You always do. At least that's my experience. You always go to war with India. Ah, yes. I don't need to be doing as much stuff up here anymore for infrastructure. So let's send all that stuff to the bottom. Spy on the curtain. Don't know what the US is doing. Start European cooperation. Isn't that already formed? Yes. Game. West Germany has already formed the ECSC. You now have France completing a national, well, you will have France completing a national focus. Oh no, never mind. It will be bypassed if West Germany has already done it. And West Germany has already done it, so that'll get bypassed and it goes straight down the Pleven plan, which will result in you gaining some Marxist-Leninist popularity. I certainly won't complain about that. It'll get you, in theory, up to 30%, give or take. Yeah, we're not going to have an alliance with China. One, they have a war goal against us. They decided they want to potentially go to war with us in the future if they find that the opportunity arises. So I don't think we're going to bother completing the proposed Soviet-Chinese defensive alliance, because if China wants to potentially go to war with me in the future, why not let them? I'll just beat the crap out of them, take their land from them, and say, haha, this is mine now. That's a lot of military factories I would love to have control over. And I'm pretty sure nobody would stop me from going to war with China if I felt so inclined. The US would probably see it as, oh, it's just two communist powers going up against one another. We can stay out of this. What do I want to research? I could research better motorized transports, and I do still need to build those, so having slightly better ones, well, depending. Okay, they're a little bit faster. That's their only advantage, is they're slightly fast. Yeah, we'll hold off on that. Let's go ahead and get Sputnik. It's 400 days, though. No, we'll hold off on Sputnik. Let's get better air-to-air missiles. And by better, I mean actual air-to-air missiles. We don't actually have any right now, technically speaking. I am curious, though, how this mod's going to handle man the guns, because they're going to be doing the whole customizable... There we go. We have things in Nigeria. Okay, so we have two options for who to support in Nigeria. The Colony and Protectorate, or the Republic of Nigeria. Well, I'm pretty sure the Republic of Nigeria is going to win. I think they've always won when I've played. Although I've honestly never paid attention. I've never seen them actually fight a war for their independence. I think I've only ever seen them just gain it magically. So we'll see how this works out. And we'll boost popularity in the winter and then stage a coup. Because that is the way this works. How long until this is done? 113 days. And then we'll finally have all the main battle tanks we need out in the field. And then we'll just have a bunch of upgrades. Do not want those. Get rid of them. I don't need close air support jets because I don't use them. Don't need air superiority jets either. I don't need light tanks. Let's just get rid of them. You know what? No, put that there. I need to start producing some of these things. You still, yeah, you're still a NATO member. The only way I can get rid of you from being a NATO member is to stage a coup and have the coup win. How are you guys doing? Your party popularities haven't changed. Olympic Games, we came in first with 16 medals. Austria in second. They're a puppet of ours, so we'll just take their medals and count them as ours. And Finland, who doesn't exist. Yeah, the game assumes Finland's not going to get annexed by the Soviets during the Cold War, so these events are drawn up assuming all these countries still exist. I don't know how hard it would actually be, though, to have it checked to see if that country still exists, and if not, replace it with any other country out there that still exists. Either way, the US apparently didn't even rank in the top 3. Get rid of all the crappy templates the game creates. Build more tank divisions because I'm gonna need them. I'll set them as a low priority. You guys can have 36, so it should be 24. Excuse me, 22. And we'll place them here in, yeah, that place, sure. And we'll tell them to go to the East German army, because East Germany's going to need them. It's only going to take us an extra 3 years. Well, a little less than that, but close enough to actually get. I just need to go and annex more. I don't think we have any more national focuses that give stuff to Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, or any of these other countries. So let's go ahead and start moving to annex Estonia. they have some military factories that we would love to have. Along with some civilian factories as well. And I think also some naval factories which we could use to more quickly produce our submarines. Because we currently apparently produce 2 a year. Yep, okay, initiate the 6th 5-year plan. We're gonna want to kick Romania out of our faction at some point because somehow they gained their independence. I'm not a big fan of that. So we're gonna have to put them back under us. Well, the Ukraine would actually be pretty quick to annex. Let's go ahead and do the Ukraine. Oh wait, we own Crimea. Whoops. Forgot. We haven't had Khrushchev give Ukraine Crimea. And we never will. Because Ukraine's not going to exist anyway. So no reason for us. There we go. Our first ever submarine. Sure, we'll put you in. Oh, actually, no. I should probably put the spotter guy in charge. And eventually, when I have submarine-launched ballistic missiles being produced, you guys will get some. Not producing any right now because there's no reason for me to. Actually, we don't even have any research, I think. So I don't even think I could build them, even if I wanted to. We only have IRBMs. Which one's the SLs? One of these two. I don't know which. I doubt it's the Scud one, though, so I'm going to assume it's the Scunner. But I don't know, because the game doesn't really tell me. Doesn't matter, though, I don't need them anytime soon. Oh. Okay, well, looks like Nigeria is going to lose. Which is a little disappointing, honestly. But hopefully the colony and protector of Nigeria still eventually gains their independence. And then I can stage a coup. And we can have another, well, not another, actually, because our coup in Egypt failed because we were busy in the middle of a war, so I couldn't send volunteers. Carlos is still in charge, and he's announcing a regime that doesn't exist. We're just going to ignore that. How's China doing? Oh, they're implementing their one-child policy, which changes their population growth national spirit from population growth explosion to steady population growth. Now, here's the thing. Outside of the consumer goods factory percentage that it sets, there is no good reason to actually want a lower tier of this. Because a higher monthly population increase for civilian population results in an increase in recruitable population, even if the percentage stays the same. Yes, they're needing to spend 5% consumer, or 5% of their consumer factories on consumer goods, but they already have total mobilization for one thing, which is decreasing that. Well, not decreasing, but it's not as high as it could be if they had a different policy there. Yeah, I mean, personally, if I was playing as China, I would not do the one-child policy. In this game, there is no good reason to do it, in my opinion. Personally, I think the bonus factories, or, excuse me, population is better. There we go. Estonia has been annexed. Some more military factories. Well, presumably some more military factories. I didn't actually see an increase. I'm pretty sure they have military factories, right? Yeah, they had one. Apparently just one. Oh no, two. Okay, they had two military factories in total. Well, it's still more military factories. Go ahead and do that stuff. Where's the Ukraine in this? Because that's the one I'm probably going to notice the most. Because they should have lots of military factories. Again, the game tells me they have none. I don't know why. And we still have payments to the Soviet Union going. Still can't tell what the US is doing. Should probably get some radar stations there so I can see what Japan's doing. MacArthur is still in charge. I have no idea when MacArthur actually leaves Japan. There we go. Some more military factories, supposedly. I think, or no, was it mostly... Looks like it was a lot of civilian factories there. Build me more subs. Set them to join that fleet. And just keep producing them. Can't play as a country that doesn't exist. And Israel hasn't existed since the last stream last week. And Republic of Nigeria was annexed. Also, you know what? Let's go ahead and work on annexing Iraq. While we're at it. Because I know eventually they're going to have, I think, problems with the Kurds. And eventually they'll also get a new leader. That'll potentially just magically make them free again. Because reasons. I'm just gonna send those guys out. Oh yes, I need to... Oh, okay, apparently annexing those guys didn't give me any random new divisions. Okay, I won't complain about that. Because I don't need them cluttering up everything. I am going to want to research these, just for the better submarine naval power. Actually, I think these might be... we'll figure it out. No, don't need you to tell me about that stuff. And let's improve infrastructure. Now I am missing a bunch of political power. You know, it's pretty good. Let's go and do press censorship. Our stability is pretty high. It's good enough for now. And this will get us some more political power. You're still too high. That'll decrease it by 5, but you'll still be too high even then. Our construction seems like crap. Because it is. Apparently, payment to the Soviets also negatively affects construction speed, along with military and civilian factory construction speed and consumer goods factory increase. Now, game, one thing you should realize, we are the Soviet Union. Why would we have a national spirit from a national focus, I think under Stalin, though maybe it was under Khrushchev, I don't recall, called payments to the Soviets, effectively meaning we're paying ourselves, unless you're referring to the Soviets as in not the Soviet Union, but the Soviets within the Soviet Union. But even then, that still doesn't quite make sense to me, but whatever. That'll disappear in 3 years. And we're back to doing everything like normal. Oh yes, what are we researching here? Ah, yes. More army doctrines. Oh, look at that. Tito wants to join the Warsaw Pact after supporting my enemies. Well, I guess I could say yes. Since you decided not to go and join, well, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll be nice to Yugoslavia. If you're in my faction, you can't support my enemies, so I guess I'll let you join. So just let me know when you've sent the invite. Okay, now you're doing anti-Mao's Nepal. And that's going to... well, Nepal... I'm sorry, who does that give you a national focus against? Against the Hindu Kingdom of Nepal. Now, game. Maybe I'm blind, but I don't see the Hindu Kingdom of Nepal. So is that going to give you a war goal against India because they own Nepal? And why doesn't Nepal exist? Did India do something that resulted in them taking over Nepal? Yes. Yes, they did. Okay. That explains that. Wonder what that's going to do, because China can't go to war with a country that doesn't exist. Although it only gives you the war goal, it doesn't instantly declare a war, so... I guess nothing will happen, probably. At least that'd be my guess. And I wish I could see what the US is doing, but our decryption isn't good enough to see what they're doing. They have slightly higher encryption than us because one of their national focuses gave them a little bit. Although we also have a national focus that does something similar. Yeah, they've done increased encryption standards. A response to the KGB was the national focus before that. Here's the thing, though. We haven't actually made the KGB. So, yeah. Oh, what's happening now? Kingdom of Laos. So, we could support the Lao People's Democratic Republic. They'll lose, so there's no point really in us even trying. They just don't have enough territory to be able to do it. And I assume this is a national focus or an event that triggers this. Probably an event, it looks like, because they have a generic tree. Or maybe the US has something for it. I don't actually know what the entire US tree looks like. Oh, I can't see what Germany's doing either. That somehow South English research results in you gaining production of steel in West Midlands and Northeast England. Now, how does South English research result in steel production? It doesn't quite make sense to me. Maybe there's a reason, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I can understand that giving a research slot, though. Especially if you start out with 4 like I do. Okay, you completed and it did nothing, okay? I think the US should be going down the decolonization tree around this time. But I don't actually know if that's what they're doing. Two years for that. What else can I research? Okay, let's go and do Sputnik, because that'll get us some encryption and decryption. Pretty sure right now the US can see what we're doing, but we can't see what they're doing. Okay, and I guess the Lao People's Democratic Republic gets a lot of free troops or something at the start. Or the Kingdom of Laos has nothing, basically. Either way, the Socialist Lao People's Republic, or Democratic Republic rather, won a war that they should not have been able to win, for the simple reason that they only had this area here and this area up here. The rest of it was controlled by the Kingdom of Laos. Whatever, they won. It's another relatively-ish friendly face down in that area, and they don't have a generic tree. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, well, they'll do their thing. We'll see how that works out. They should be relatively friendly towards us. Yeah, they did Soviet alignment, that's why. I could probably get them to join us. But nah. People's Republic of Indonesia. I don't really need a non-aggression pact with you, but I would love to get you to join my faction. I know the US has a thing to stage a coup down there. We'll see if they do. Oh, game. You're gonna do that, huh? There we go. Okay, that's better IRBMs. I don't care for IRBMs. Eastern Highways. Why was that showing skulls? You know what? I don't want to know. Let's free the Gulag. So that I can do... yeah, take down Stalinist monuments, because I'm going to need the national... or excuse me, the political power. I don't have ATGM carriers unless these guys are actually classified as that, but they're supposed to replace anti-tank, so I don't think that's the case. These are SAMs. I think all of these are SAMs. I don't know why they're not one after the other, though. Unless you guys are mobile ballistic missile launchers, which is maybe a case, I don't know. That's a long ways out. Yeah, lots of this stuff is pretty far out there. We could research some better nukes if we wanted to. Ah, screw it. Let's get the better trucks. We have 10 million people. There we go. Oh, no, the US just jumped up to 11.4 somehow. How many divisions do you have? 80 to 190. Okay. Yeah, that's a decent number. China apparently has 158. Okay, Yugoslavia, like I said, I'll let you join. You backed my enemies. Or at least you tried to. But at the end of the day, it's easier for me if you're a part of my faction, because then you can't back my enemies. What do I want you to do? Lebanese intervention. Oh, are you going to invade Lebanon? No, it gives you the option to puppet them, though. And you will start a civil war between Marxist-Leninists and Marxist-Leninists, because apparently Syria didn't get the memo that I already made Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and I don't know about Jordan. Yeah, I think in the case of Jordan, no. But nonetheless, like, a lot of these people are already communist, Marxist-Leninists, specifically. So it's going to trigger a war, or a civil war, between people that shouldn't be able to have a civil war. Whatever game. Yeah, some of these national focuses need to have their bypasses set up. It says Jordan. I'm assuming that's supposed to be... Well, let me see. Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. Here's the thing. I don't see anybody with that name. There's the UAE, Oman. The Federation of South Arabia. And that. Qatar, Kuwait, Iraq. Yeah, where's this Jordan of which you speak of? Because evidently I'm blind. Carlos is still in charge. Denmark is doing province scoring. What are you doing? Training in Helsinki? Okay, yeah. Apparently Sweden's decided they want to have a division training in Helsinki. For whatever reason. And the Republic of Vietnam has declared war on the Republic of Vietnam. Okay, this is the one that's buddy-buddy with the US. It doesn't really matter to me which one wins because it's irrelevant. For us, what matters is that the North wins the Vietnam War when it inevitably sparks. Ooh. Okay, yeah, Unification War, but where's your thing to actually... Okay. But I assume you have an actual option to go to war with the South, right? I mean, you'd have to, wouldn't you? Maybe, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, you have something, supposedly. Which one won? Ah, yes, the one that's buddy-buddy with the US. I'm not surprised that one won. What are you doing? Where are you sending your tank? Okay, Sweden. Do you know what you're doing? You seem confused about the whole concept of being a puppet. Who won? Oh, woo! First place with 98 medals. US in second with 74, and Australia in third with 35. Jesus, you guys are handing out medals like they're candy. We're held in Melbourne, Australia. Next Summer Olympics are to be in Italy. Aren't the Winter Olympics all supposed to be in Italy? I wasn't really paying attention last time, but I'm pretty sure the Winter Olympics were all supposed to be in Italy. $87 more for you, 84 more for you. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Now, I could go and... Now, do I want to invite Syria to my faction while they're fighting a war against Lebanon? the US could say, hey, if you're inviting people to join your faction, we're going to invite people to join our faction. Which could, in theory, result in them inviting Lebanon. Well, they're not in a faction, actually, are they? No, because of the way NATO works. Syria. Maybe I will let you join. No, you're about to spark civil war, though, in Saudi Arabia and Palestine. Or not, excuse me, not Palestine, but at least Saudi Arabia. And somewhere else. Egypt. I don't mind Egypt. You can do that in Egypt. Let's arrest that guy. Oh. Your flag is like basically the Saudi Arabian flag. It's just red instead of green, and it's got a star up in the corner. Oh, is the US supporting Lebanon? No, the US isn't supporting Lebanon. Lebanon's just taking forever to get conquered, apparently. Land-based land attack cruise missiles. Those aren't what I'm looking for. Oh, what happened? An uprising in Poland, you say? The Republic of Poland has declared war on the Republic of Poland because we need to make this confusing by giving them the exact same name. So let's see. Today, Polish metal workers in Poznan went on strike and have declared for democratic reforms and dissolve the communist government. Local anti-communist rebel groups have armed the protesters and have joined in a rebellion. The Polish soon deployed the Internal Security Corps, and the Soviets sent in the army to deal with them. The death toll of the battle was between 57 to hundreds of people. Polish and Soviets have said that any anti-communist sentiment shall be pushed down. We're going to stay out. There's no reason for me to get involved. Yeah. Now, Poland, I'm going to let you know a little secret here. You win this by taking victory points. So, this one infantry division should just march straight to Poznan and end this. It should only take them all of, I don't know, maybe a week to get up there, but you're not going to do that. It's the AI. It's not the most intelligent. Romania has been invited to join the party, apparently. Take this infantry division and march them straight to Poznan. You will end this so much sooner. You won't even have to engage the rebel army. But that's not what you're going to do. You engage them, though. Also, why do they start as mountaineers? That's a weird army division for the rebels. One, because there's no mountains there. It's a city with plains, lots and lots of plains, and some forests. You're still not done, Syria? Really? You really suck at this whole war thing. And you got tanks with actual supplies. Compared to Lebanon, who I see here have tanks with no supplies but lots of organization. Ooh, okay. After a decade of World War II and improvement of relations with Finland, who doesn't exist, members of Congress have declared that it is time for the Karelo-Finnish SSR to be annexed into the USSR. We also need the land for the border with Norway and Sweden in case we need to launch an invasion or defend. We don't have to worry about Sweden. Norway is the only real worry up in Scandinavia anymore. However, some of the Finnish political leaders in the Congress have wanted to keep it a SSR for the Finnish people in the area. well, the Finnish Democratic Republic doesn't exist, so I don't give a crap about how they feel. So, vote yes on the decree. It's a little bit of stuff. Karelo-Finnish SSR annexed into the USSR. The USSR has annexed the Karelo-Finnish SSR into the Russian Federative SSR. This is the first time a Soviet republic has... bullshit. We've annexed tons of Soviet socialist republics already. Into another, the USSR stated that after increased Finnish-Soviet relations, we'd already annexed Finland, but we'll ignore that. They thought it would be time to annex the Karelo-Finnish SSR. There is, however, a few... There are, however, a few people angry at the move. The Finnish population in the once SSR has been afraid of more Soviet control and less autonomy for them. The Soviets have stated that the Finnish should not be worried. The Soviets have been celebrating the new oblasts into the RFSSR in Moscow, and will keep marching on the west. Syria, if you can't even fight Lebanon, why would I want you in my faction? Screw it. Okay, now how is this civil war that you're gonna spark in Saudi Arabia gonna screw me over? Oh my god. Ah, the dude's literally fighting himself. That is just perfect. We're gonna have to support these guys, though. I need to note that. But again, the dude is literally fighting himself. Like, he's suffering from having multiple personalities. Oh, okay. I can't send you any troops, so I'm gonna have to choose. Who is more important to me, Saudi Arabia or Egypt? I'm gonna be honest, Saudi Arabia is already a puppet, so Saudi Arabia is a little bit more important to me than Egypt. So we're gonna join the Saudi Arabian civil war that shouldn't exist because Saudi Arabia was already Marxist-Leninists, but Syria managed to still be able to force a Marxist-Leninist civil war against Marxist-Leninists. Whatever. I have no troops in that region. Surprise, surprise. Oh yes, I never sent you guys anywhere. Well, now it's time for you guys to go somewhere. And if I wasn't in a war, I would send you some support. You could choose to join my faction, though. Then you wouldn't have to worry. Ooh, we need some better railways. Actually, you guys should be able to pretty much just walk in there. Let's annex Iraq. There we go. We finally have spare factories. And we'll buy some more tungsten from the US. Romania's been invited to the party. I'm just gonna tell you guys to beeline for that if you don't mind. Like, just don't bother thinking, just go. Ooh, holy crap, the US has sent a ton of troops to support Marxist-Leninists that apparently have 65% fascist ideology. Oh, game. Oh, we're not going to be able to beeline for that. Never mind. Now, if you send all your troops away from that port, I will gladly... Ooh. Oh no, it was the... Never mind. Wrong Egypt one. Okay, you guys... Feel free to use... whatever you have to. Wow, they're running. Why are they running? It must be a trap. I would love to surround the US troops. If given the opportunity. Lebanese Republic. I'm sorry, game. You had a puppet war goal. Why did you not puppet them? Romania has invited Yugoslavia to join a war that there's no reason for Yugoslavia to be getting involved in. Go there. Actually, kind of don't want you guys to win that battle just yet. I still have a little bit of surrounding I need to do. Wonderful. Now, look at that. 11 U.S. infantry divisions surrounded. Come on, you guys got this. Yes. This division got lucky. They're getting away. And I have no way of encircling them. Maybe go to war with Egypt. It's probably the easiest way, actually, to turn Egypt to our side at this point. We've had a coup that we ourselves created that we weren't able to support because we were in the middle of a war with Sweden at the time. And then because of Syria starting a civil war in Saudi Arabia at the same time as a civil war in Egypt, we weren't able to support the Egyptian one because we wanted to make sure our puppet won in Saudi Arabia. Considering the support the U.S. threw behind a predominantly fascist but apparently still Marxist-Leninist Saudi Arabia, we weren't able to go and support Egypt. And it's a good idea we actually did end up supporting our Saudi Arabia. Yeah, let's see. Nobody's going to come to your aid, right? Yeah, you don't have, like, NATO membership or anything. So, Egypt, we're going to invade you. Eventually. It'll probably be a little while, though. But nonetheless, we're going to invade you. Just so you know. What is Libya doing? Libya is going isolationist. Okay. If I invade you, you can't be isolationist, just so you know. Oh. Okay. Is this the real one? No, this is not the real one still. Oh my god. This is what, like the third war between the Republic of Vietnam and some other Vietnam that's not North Vietnam? I think this is the third one. First time it was a Republic of Vietnam, I believe, and then another Republic of Vietnam, and now it's the People's Republic of Vietnam. This one is finally Marxist-Leninist. Eventually, the Vietnam War will start. Although I think I'll be ending this stream in just a little bit. Because it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So let's see, what's I'll end it once we finish taking down the Stalinist monuments. Still don't know what the US is doing. I can still see what France is doing though. Also, that's not quite right. At this point, historically, I'm pretty sure de Gaulle was still in charge of France. I think he stays in charge until like the late 60s or something. Up and there we go, monarchist Italy. They're still gaining fascist support, aren't they, though? Oh, no, they're gaining Marxist. Or, excuse me, not Marxist. Monarchist. I swear, though, they had fascist support gain as well, though. But, evidently, I'm remembering it incorrectly. Oh, well. We'll continue to buy tungsten from the US. Because if I buy the tungsten, nobody else can buy it. It's definitely the way this works. Ooh, Nigeria. Death squads. That doesn't sound very good. Now, Nigeria. Are you sure it's a good idea to be decreasing your recruitable population and stability? Let's stage a coup, because you're kind of making this easy. The eastern region isn't really where I would want it to go. I'd prefer the western region, but I understand you can't do that. We'll just have to beeline for the western region because that's the only port. It's the only way to get supplies. So, October 1957, we will stage a coup in Nigeria, which will open the door to supporting communist movements throughout Africa. Nigeria is actually a pretty decent spot to hit most of Africa, I think. I say that, but I don't actually know the range of our transport planes. Do I have any available? I have one. We'll say 10. That is the right plane, correct? Yes. What is the range on you? Is that really the range on you? Wow, okay, yeah. Nigeria, out of curiosity. No, sadly you don't have any airfields. That is a shame. Because they would be helpful. Egypt does, though. So Egypt is where we'll be basing our operations in Africa out of. But that won't happen until the next time we stream, more than likely. There we go. Now, first things first. Latvia. You no longer exist. And we're gonna do some more stuff regarding synthetic rubbers. I want to get those research slots. I think we have until 63 is when we get the event regarding Khrushchev being invited to a meeting with the KGB, saying, "Okay, Khrushchev, we want you to resign," and you'll have the option to say sure, and then you get a broken national focus tree right now because, yeah, the devs say they plan to fix that. I don't know when it'll actually happen though. Or you have the option to, I guess, probably start a civil war. I don't know for certain on that though. Or run to the US. I think we're going to go for the Civil War option because I don't want to be running around with a broken tree. But that's going to be it for this stream. I'll probably stream this again next weekend, where we will, well, maybe even earlier than next weekend, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Where we'll have a coup in Egypt, a coup in Nigeria, and we're not going to war with China. Just anyone coming in this late. Ignore the fact that I've devised plans for an invasion of China. It's because they completed a national focus that gave them an annex war goal on me. So I need to keep troops on that border in case they decide to actually press said claim. But yes, so I will see you all in the next stream. Like I said, that'll probably be next weekend, but maybe sooner, depending. I saw your messages, Texas. I don't know what Red World is. I've never heard of it. Ah, looks like a mod. Okay, it's an alternate history mod. That hasn't been updated since July. Well, I mean, I guess I don't think anything big's come out. Oh, well, our plan is to have a communist victory in the Cold War, obviously. At the very least before, excuse me, before Man the Guns comes out, I'm hoping to have what I'm going to refer to as Operation Red Dawn. For any of you that don't know, Google Red Dawn, it's a movie. The original Red Dawn from 1984. Don't bother with the remake that they did in 2012. I think Netflix has it. Or maybe not, I don't know. it's not listed on Google as Netflix having it. So maybe Netflix doesn't have Red Dawn. Okay. Yeah. Well, like I said, that's going to be it for this stream. I will see you all in the next one. Hopefully, I will have completed Operation Red Dawn before Man the Guns comes out, but we'll see. They haven't announced a release date, and it seems like Man the Guns has been in perpetual development since forever at this point. I think it was announced earlier this year, and it's almost the end of 2018, and we don't have a release date yet, as far as I see. So, yeah. I did save, right? Yeah, let's just override the save, just to make sure.